10 money secrets you won't learn in school. Go to school, graduate, get a job, then retire with some benefits. That's the dream. Right? Every single school will train their students that this is the right path to take. The only problem is, this doesn't work anymore. 50 years ago, this financial route would make so much sense. But the entire tax system, retirement system, and legal system have changed so much, making what they currently teach in school about money completely redundant. The main reason we chose this topic is because of the lack of financial literacy classes in our current education system. Times have changed, and if you don't want to be broke for the rest of your life, you better grab a pen and paper right away. Before we begin, give this video a thumbs up and tap the subscribe button and the bell icon if you haven't already. We have informative content every other day that you don't want to miss out on. Now, let's begin, shall we? 10. Correlation between emotions and our money. Let's start off with the most important money secret that only marketers and big brands know about. 30% of what you spend your money on is tied to a certain emotion. I bet you didn't know that. Most of the time, what we buy is based on how we feel. Because of this, brands have capitalized on triggering the right emotions, just enough to get us to open our wallets. I must say that I've been a victim to this. Sometimes I'll just buy something at the end of a horrible day, just to feel better. The same way sometimes women will go on shopping sprees to feel better. There's nothing wrong with doing this occasionally. The problem is when you fall victim to these marketing tricks every other time. Did you know that the space gray iPhone is about $20 more expensive than all other colors? Yet, all the phones have the same features. Conversely, as much as our emotions dictate how we spend money, our financial situation also affects our emotions. When you're broke, you'll probably not be as happy as the rich guy next door. There are higher depression rates during recessions and financial crises. The correlation between money and emotions is significant, but no one will teach you about it in school. Can you imagine the adults we would be if money and finance were taught to us earlier? I would bet a lot more people would be happier and well off financially. 9. Multiple income streams. The only way of making money is by getting a salary. That's according to our education system. We are hardly taught about alternative ways of making a living. All the education system preaches is how to apply for a job, build a CV, and get a job. In short, the system trains us on how to be slaves, building someone else's dream. If you solely survive on your salary, then you'll have a problem. There are several ways you can make extra income aside from your job. You could invest part of your salary in investments with high returns. You could start a business. Offer services in your area of expertise after work hours. There's so much we don't learn in school that I wish they would teach us. If you don't have a side hustle already, you need to find one as soon as possible. 8. How to build your credit. Before you get approved for a loan, a credit card, or even a mortgage, the financial institution offering them has to run a credit check on you. The decision as to whether you qualify or not is based on your credit score. And your credit score is determined by your past credit history, such as, were you paying loans in time, did you borrow money, and so on. And the thing is, this is one of those things you'll have to learn by yourself. They won't teach you about this in school. You may get a poor credit score not because you're a loan defaulter, but because you don't take any loans. Yes, did you know that? Credit cards and loans aren't bad at all. What matters is how you manage them. In fact, the only way to grow your credit score is to take a loan or use your credit card, but make sure you pay it back within the given time frame. Also, be very careful before you apply for any credit. Ensure your credit is according to the terms listed. The reason why this is so important is if you get denied a loan, this will be recorded as a black mark on your profile for the next 7 years. Yikes, I know. So check your credit regularly and borrow sparingly to ensure you stay ahead. Also, be on the lookout for errors or fraudulent activities in your statements. 7. Saving. When did you ever hear a lecturer come into class and say, "Today we're going to learn the importance of saving money"? I'm guessing your answer is never. Well, it's not your teacher's fault. They're only following the curriculum to the letter. But it would have been great if we learned 1 or 2 savings tips along with those complex algebra calculations. It's sad that every adult has to learn this the hard way, through experiences. Or, if you were lucky enough, your parents taught you how to save. If you want to learn more about managing your finances, you can watch our other videos. We have so many videos dedicated to money management. For now, we'll just brush through the basics. First, before you start saving, create a budget for everything you spend. Reduce the budget and cut off what you can from the list. The next step is to determine what percentage of what's remaining from your paycheck can be saved. The ideal percentage is 40%. But if you can't achieve that yet, start small and grow it gradually. Once you've saved for some time, which could be as soon as 3 months, don't just leave that money in the bank, invest it somewhere. We've discussed compound interest within the video, so keep watching to learn how you can use it to become wealthy. 6. Haggling. The art of haggling is the language of the wealthy. Notice that we didn't say the rich, but the wealthy. I'm talking about billionaires and not millionaires. Haggling is one of the secrets that very few people know about. The golden rule is to never shy away from negotiating. Negotiate the interest rate. Negotiate that purchase point and everything else that you're paying for. We're not saying you walk into Walmart and bargain the price of juice. But if you are applying for a mortgage, you can negotiate the rates. Or, if you're buying the house in cash, you can bargain till the lowest price. Haggle, 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 and you will end up saving a lot of money. And if you ask me, that's worth a like. So if you haven't liked the video yet, give us a thumbs up. 5. Managing debt. No one will teach you how to manage your debt. Well, unless you take some personal finance classes, which in my opinion should have been offered in school as part of the curriculum. But because not all that matters is taught in school, here we are, learning about debt from a YouTube video. Most people after college end up in so much debt. It's here where, in addition to student loans, they take up multiple credit cards, which dig them even deeper in debt. Without the right debt management skills, they almost always end up depressed, surviving paycheck to paycheck. The key to managing debt is to start by being aware of all the debt owed and the due dates for repayments. Never miss a payment date, as it will implicate your credit score, and there could be additional penalties for delays. Also, never borrow what you can't repay. For more information, watch our other personal finance videos. 4. Retirement. Unfortunately, you won't learn how to plan for retirement from school. Planning for retirement should start as soon as you leave college. Most people have it all worked out by their workplace's HR team, but others don't. It's important to have a retirement plan in place so that when you stop working, you have something to fall back on and support you for the rest of your life. If not, you will become a burden to family and friends. Look out for pension programs as soon as you can and invest in them as soon as possible. 3. Passive income. Let's be honest, most of us watching don't know anything about passive income. Or if you do, you didn't learn it in school, but on some YouTuber's video or a blog post, right? The reality is most of us make money by saving our time in exchange for a paycheck. Not everyone considers making money in channels that won't necessarily require you to spend that much time. We've been trained that we must spend a lot of time and energy to get the results. Therefore, selling the idea that you can make money as you sleep is often shut down. I bet some of you are already second-guessing what I'm saying, but I don't blame you. I blame the education system. Some of the most common passive income streams include selling digital products, which could be ebooks, apps, buying stocks that pay out high dividends. The list is endless. Just research on the different channels and select one that would suit your budget, lifestyle, and needs. 2. Compound interest. Compound interest is potentially the most important money secret. It almost works like magic. The concept is quite easy to understand, but not everyone has wrapped their head around it yet. Compound interest makes it possible for people to reach their financial goals faster than they could imagine. For the first few years, admittedly, your money will grow really slowly. But in the last few years, the growth will be exponential. Say you invest $10,000 every year with a rate of 7% into an index fund. It will take you 15 years to grow your wealth to $300,000. But from there, your money will grow to $1 million in only 12 years. So, if you want to retire a millionaire, you better start using the magic of compounding right away. By understanding how compound interest works, you'll be able to be patient when the growth is annoyingly slow initially. 1. Assets are the key to wealth. Assets are important as long as you want to build your wealth. But the thing is, school will never teach you this. There are assets that depreciate in value, such as motor vehicles, and those that appreciate, such as land and real estate. You want to focus more on acquiring assets that appreciate in value, as opposed to those that depreciate. Being wealthy means owning your own time, and the certain way to garner this sort of freedom is by acquiring assets that earn for you as you sleep. These could be stocks, property that generates income through leasing, bonds, a website that earns you money, and a business. Once you have enough assets, you'll shift into the wealthy category of people. You will no longer need a day job, and you will own every minute of your day. That's it for today. I hope you learned one or two things about money. It's quite unfortunate that the most important things aren't taught to us in school. So if you want to learn basic financial literacy skills, such as managing money, investing, how the stock market works, the basics of taxes and how owning a home is affordable, plus so much more great content, check out my friend Zach's course, Compound Confidence, the finance you need to know. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here, it means you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family who may need to learn a few things about money. That's all from us. Have a wonderful day, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.